A pile of crushed bones of varying shapes, sizes, and creatures. Here lies the Grand Mason, his bones and lies exposed.
What's that?
Congratulations on finding this place, thief, but your journey ends here.
Calloused hands work a hammer and chisel around a massive slab of rock. Months from now, a face will take shape. You sense this one hid for days as the sounds of battle got closer and closer to town. You didn't even care who won, so long as it ended. A happy, faded memory comes to you. A woman walking along a beach, holding hands with her husband-to-be. Before the shadows, there was once a house full of warmth and children's laughter in this one's life. No more. You can almost taste the sour ale that once clung to this soul's breath. He was insensible when the shadows came for him. A distant memory of a man stretching his back with a groan. Another day of hauling masonry blocks done.
Half-Red, you're probably surprised that I'm ridding, though no more surprised than me. You warned me of Thorm's malice, yet I took up hammer and trowel to build that cursed tower. You warned me of coming war, yet I built the prison that would contain his foes. You warned me, I did not listen. It is my deepest regret, and I must atone. I know more about the tower's construction than anyone, and possess innumerable tools and supplies. Gather your allies at last light, and let us devise a plan to infiltrate Moonrise. Catterick plans for war. He expects to face halberds and staves in light of day. We will end him with a dagger to the back before he can so much raise a blade. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I hope that you will try. Your brother, Morfred. How quickly things change. The Thorms are Slinite through and through, or so I believed. Perhaps Catterick only converted for Melodia, and with her death, and then his daughters, his faith died too. But to turn to Shar? It beggars belief. Catterick's justiciars are growing greater in number, and more determined to rout out any traces of Saloon in Raithwin. Why do they think this town was built? One cannot rip out the foundations of a building and expect it to remain standing. Brother and I remain the last two bastions of Our Lady of Silver in the town. A few, the trusting few, come to worship in secret by moonlit nights, others, converts, all. Whether they truly believe, I cannot say. Impossible, isn't it? Sick of standing idle while justiciars gain power in our humble town, what will become of us if we allow it? I met a man who was no man, touched by a devil, or maybe worse. But he offered me something I couldn't refuse, help. The time is now. Catterick's justiciars, their stronghold in the temple below, they will be wiped out. All of them. I didn't ask how, I just want them gone. Let the Harpers have it. Catterick now, they'll make short work of him.
What do we have here?
Your eyes are sharp, sisters. And to your skin. Say the same of them. Witness the solace of the ladies. Each vein with a tenderest touch. Sharon's blood.
The doctor's found oblivion. Well, no time to mourn. I'll fix this without him.
See that corpse? Arabella's father in the oh-so-decaying flesh.
Why are you treating a dead body?
Not dead. Merely medicated. To ease the pain. I see movement. The patient's awake. Hello? Can you hear me? Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to tend to my patient. The doctor's teachings live on. I will be fine. The patients will be fine. Everything fine.
The doctor's absent today. Come back another time.
Thaniel and me are climbing up a tree.
He keeps saying Thaniel's name. He must know more. We need to rouse him.
I found a lute. It seems to have belonged to the Flaming Fist.
Good. Its music might help restore him. Show it to him.
Thaniel! He's still trapped there. He needs help.
Calm. Breathe. You've been trapped in the Shadowfell for a century. Take a moment to clear your mind.
A century. You're Halsey. Thaniel said to find you. You must help him, please.
I will, but I need to know where Thaniel is. If I venture into the Shadowfell blind, I will never find him.
I'm not sure I can put it into words. The landscape there shifts and changes.
Was there anything that could offer guidance? Something that didn't change?
Lavender. Whenever I saw Thaniel, I always smelled lavender.
I can work with that. Rest now. Meet me by the lakeshore. I have what we need to proceed, but I'll need your help. Be ready. This may prove perilous.
say a prayer to Timora for your good luck. A copper to the lady returns tenfold in gold. And maybe something that will help you and Halsin too.
The dog is unable to speak through the small bag he holds in his mouth.
Hey, Scratch, what do you got there?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. All I know is I thought of you when I saw it.
You're here. Good. Now we can begin.
First, I want to know what to expect.
Thaniel is trapped in the Shadowfell, but thanks to your efforts, I know where to look. Now I must go there, alone.
Hold on. Shouldn't I come with you?
No. This opportunity has been 100 years in the making. It has to be me. And only me. But I didn't bring you here to witness an old druid's grandstanding. You have a part to play in this, and I trust you will play it well. With the Oakfather's blessing, I can infiltrate the Shadowfell, but doing so will sap my strength. I'll need your help if I'm to return. I need you to stay here, keep the portal open until I return, and defend it at all costs.
You can count on me.
Good. Now it's important that only I pass through the portal once it opens. The magic is fragile. Any mistake, and our one chance will be lost forever. It took me years of study, of seeking the Oakfather's favor, to find a way to part the veil. Pray that this works. Oakfather, hear me, aid me. Force open the jaws of darkness. Make passage for your vessel of light. It's ready. I'll return with Thaniel as soon as possible. Stay close to the portal. Buy me what time you can. done. I have him. But something's wrong. Dreadfully wrong. No. It can't be.
We need to get Thaniel someplace safe.
Yes. I'll bring him back to camp. He'll be safest with us. I need to examine him. I need to understand what's wrong. It's almost like something's missing from him. Come see us when you can. Thaniel is resting, but it's no easy slumber. I discovered what's wrong with him. The shadows rendered him in two when they bore him away to the Shadowfell. Half of his essence remained here, amidst the curse. What stayed behind would have been the strongest part of him. But after all these years left in the darkness, corruption must have taken hold.
Tell me how I can help.
It's both simple and not. We need to find Thaniel's missing half and make him whole again. Only the missing half may not come willingly. The curse will have sunk its tendrils deep, twisting Thaniel's essence into something else.
I met a sort of shadow child before, a little boy named Oliver. Around Thaniel's age.
And you saw this boy yourself? That can't be a coincidence, but we need to be sure. And I truly mean we, if you wish. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side.
All right, leave it to me.
This doesn't have to be your burden alone. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side. If you want me, I'm yours. Against the curse, against the absolute. Anything. Just say the word.
Join me.
Seems your ranks are quite packed. If some space frees up, I'll be ready for you. Thaniel still suffers. There'll be no improvement until his essence is restored, I fear.
Come, I need you by my side out there.
Good. Now our roots can deepen. Together. Oakfather preserve you.
I met a peer of yours, the druid Jahira. Do you know her?
Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt.
You seem to admire her greatly.
There is much to admire, judging by the stories. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Defended the Grove, Korga, the Shadow Druids. At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal.
What happened before, when the Shadow Curse was unleashed?
Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shah. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the shadows, became part of the shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning.
Inauspicious? Sounds like you did what you had to and saved lives.
You are right, but I must not lose focus until everything has been put right. I've wasted too much time already. Years in which nature has suffered.
You've spent all these years fighting the shadow curse. What happens once it's lifted?
Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is.
Of course, I only wish you'd joined me earlier.
So do I. But one duty at a time.
How am I holding up in your estimations?
Given the circumstances, you're faring as well as can be expected, I suppose. Could hear nature's symphony in this place. Now, it is quiet. Quiet and dead.
I can make some animal noises if it will make you feel more at home.
You bleat well enough as it is.
I won fair and square. There's no point in playing again. I want a challenge.
Though shrouded in shadows, the child's resemblance to Thaniel is unmistakable. This must be his dark half, warped by the curse.
Go on, find someone else to play with.
I know who you really are and where you really belong. You need to reunite with Thaniel.
Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time.
Like it or not, you don't belong here.
Yes, I do. You can't make me do anything. I don't want to play with you anymore.
He's scarpered. We'd better track him down if the shadows don't stop us first.
couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here, playing? I had everything I've ever wanted, right here! And you've ruined it. I'm not leaving. You can't make me.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child. But he doesn't truly know that.
You have what you want, but not what you need, Thaniel. He's your friend, your kin, he's you.
He's nothing to me. He left me here all this time. I had to do everything for myself. Even when it was scary, even when I was alone. I didn't give up.
You were very brave and resourceful. Think of how much you'll be able to help Thaniel.
But would he even want me back? I've changed. A lot.
Change is good. That's what growing up is all about. Together, you two will become more than you were before.
So I wouldn't have to make up friends to play with anymore. I'd have someone real. I'd like that. And he would too, I think. All right, I'll do it. I want to do it.
Well done.
Are you crying? You're a bit big to be crying. But I suppose that's okay. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can.
Halsin's proved himself a fine ally already. He'll be useful in battle, if those tree trunk arms are an indication.
These lands may not be under the thrall of Lady Shah for much longer. No matter. She wishes for Ketheric Thorm to be punished. Her darkness was a blessing offered before he betrayed her. She can redirect her powers elsewhere once he is cast down.
How are you faring?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't been dwelling on becoming a Dark Justiciar. Perhaps seeing the power of Shah unleashed on that land is keeping the thought in my mind. But don't worry. I still have plenty of room for you in both mind and heart.
Halsin is one hench elf. I'm impressed. And glad he's on our side.
Halsin is such a delight. Woe to the cultist who tangles with that thick hunk of an elf.
A savvy move recruiting Halsin to our cause. While I'm adept at most forms of weave manipulation, druidic magic is not my area of expertise. He will make for a most useful option to have in reserve.
I think I'll enjoy traveling with Halsin. Not for his wit or wisdom. He'll just make an excellent shield if we're attacked.
I never asked. Are you Cazador's only spawn, or are there others like you?
Cazador, sired 7 spawn. Me and my 6 brothers and sisters. I was one of his first. Some of the others came years later. He was a monster to us all. But did take special pleasure in my pain. He said my screams sounded sweetest. Now that I'm gone, I don't know. I pity the other 6.
The druid Halsin spoke to me while I was sleeping. He spoke of you. Said that you fought shadow and spite to restore me. 100 years of sickness almost ended. I feel every root that riddles the earth beginning to unfold. But there is one anchor, still holding the shadows in place. The soul that brought it into being, for the land to heal. Ketheric Thorm must die.
Oakfather preserve you.
I feel like I haven't gotten to know you properly yet.
It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know?
Don't take this the wrong way, but you're quite large for an elf.
I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now.
We don't have to talk about it, if you don't want to.
It's a natural question, but I don't have a good answer, I'm afraid. Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened.
How did you come to be a druid?
I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector.
Tell me something about yourself that I wouldn't even think to ask.
I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey.
Whittling? What do you make?
Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks.
So you turn into a bear and you like honey? A little on the nose.
I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected.
As you've mentioned it, how old are you anyway?
350 years young. I've been privileged to watch saplings grow into mighty boughs.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks.
I live in mortal fear of krakens, though I've never actually seen one.
Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand. But as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe.
That's enough for now. Thank you.
Anytime.